This past weekend on MSNBC, senior executive editor of Bloomberg, Timothy O'Brien, started talking about Donald Trump's declining mental state, which of course is something that the media as a whole is largely ignoring. But it can't be ignored anymore. What we are seeing from Donald Trump, what we have seen in these first 100 plus days in office, is on par with what we saw from Biden in the last year of his term. But we're seeing it in the first 100 days of Donald Trump. His cognitive decline is equally as bad as anything Biden has. And if you ask me, I think it's actually far worse. But here is what O'Brien said, and he made a really great point, which is why I want to talk about this. He said, quote, "As I was watching that clip, one of the things that really struck me is Donald Trump has aged. When people talk about the things that are going to get in the way of a third term for Donald Trump, obviously it's voters, obviously it's the 22nd Amendment, but he's turning 79 in June. He lives in fear of going down the path his father went down, which was dementia followed by Alzheimer's into his 90s. And I think he's carried that burden forever. Watching how he answers questions now compared to Trump 1.0, he slurs his words a little. He looks weary. He is slouched. And I don't know how much authentic enthusiasm he has for the power and the office he holds, other than the fact that it keeps him out of jail and it keeps him center stage. But the brilliant point there is not only pointing out that, if you were to watch a video side by side of Trump in his first term versus Trump at any moment today, you're going to notice that decline. It is visible, it is there, it is real, something has changed. And it could be that he is following down the same footsteps as his father. His father had dementia for 8 years. 8 years after being diagnosed with dementia, he was then diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And he lived to be 93 years old. So Trump's not far off from that, especially considering the fact that when you take, environmental factors into account, physiological factors into account, Donald Trump has had a far more rough, intense, and stressful life than his father, Fred Trump, did. So those things wear on you. They age you. So Trump would be right about at the correct age to be developing these two, neurological disorders. That makes sense. His nephew, Fred Trump III, had this to say last year. "Like anyone else, I've seen his decline, but I see it in parallel with the way my grandfather's decline was. If anyone wants to believe that dementia did not run in the Trump family, it's just not true." And if you need further proof, how about the Alcatraz thing, right? That popped up earlier this week after Donald Trump watched Escape from Alcatraz on PBS, which he also defunded. In explaining his pick of reopening Alcatraz, Donald Trump vomited out a word salad saying this: "Well, I guess I was supposed to be a movie maker. We started with the movie making, and it will end. It represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order. Our country needs law and order," says the man who's pardoning all the hardened criminals. "Alcatraz is, I would say, the ultimate, right? Alcatraz, Sing Sing, and Alcatraz, the movies. But, it's right now a museum, believe it or not. A lot of people go there. It housed the most violent criminals in the world. And nobody ever escaped. One person almost got there, but they, as you know the story, they found his clothing rather badly ripped up, and it was a lot of shark bites, a lot of problems. Nobody's ever escaped from Alcatraz and just represented something strong having to do with law and order. We need law and order in this country. It sort of represents something that's both horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable, weak. It's got a lot of qualities that are interesting." So, in those couple paragraphs I just read you, first of all, none of it made any sense. He starts off like, "I guess I should have been a movie maker." The question was, of course, how will you use it? How did you come up with the idea? "I guess I should have been a movie maker. It's in a lot of movies. There's movies." That's insane. And of course, recently confusing Harvard for Harlem. But his little rant about Alcatraz there, he keeps repeating the same lines over and over. We need law and order. We need law and order. That is something associated with dementia. Now, it's not explicitly limited to people with dementia, but that is something you see very frequently in people with dementia, repetition of common words and phrases to them. That's what Trump was doing there. Not to mention, he's creating things out of thin air. It is speculated that the 3, not 1, individuals who did manage to successfully get out of Alcatraz and into the water, it is speculated that they may have been the victims of shark attacks. They did not find clothes with shark bites in them. Like, that didn't happen. So he makes up these points to kind of fill in what he doesn't actually know. Again, a very common trait among people with dementia or Alzheimer's. They can't remember, so they fabricate. This guy has real problems. Neurological problems, psychological problems, and they are getting worse. And we still have over 1,350 days to go. And if they're this bad now, by the time this man gets to the point of leaving office, he's not even going to be able to function anymore. He's not going to be able to speak. He may not remember his own name. You know, kind of like Republicans always said about Biden, except this time it'll be real. Because we're already seeing the beginning stages of it now. And it only gets worse from here. Welcome to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel. I am Farron Cousins, the host of Ring of Fire here on YouTube. I don't know if this is your first time here, or maybe you're somebody who comes here every single day. But either way, let me tell you what's going on. Ring of Fire was actually started in the year 2004 by none other than our own America's lawyer, Mike Papantonio. And over the last 20 plus years, Ring of Fire has gone from being a 1-hour weekend radio program on Air America through a series of changes. Go Left TV, which we started back in 2007. We've been on the Young Turks network. And of course, this very YouTube channel here that started, obviously, as they all do, with no subscribers. And we've now ballooned to well over 1 million as we go on our way to that 2 million mark. So again, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Take a few minutes, look around. We have content that actually goes back 20 years. So there's lots to see, there's lots to do. And trust me, with the next 4 years of Donald Trump getting back in office, we will be here every day, every single day with fresh content for you to keep you informed about what's happening and, of course, to warn you of the potential dangers that Donald Trump poses as we approach his second term.